The Titanic, and the book that predicted it. The year is 1898. A man named Morgan Robertson writes a novel called The Wreck of the Titan. In this story, a magnificent ship, the Titan, sails across the Atlantic, unstoppable, unsinkable, until it isn't. It crashes into an iceberg in the North Atlantic and sinks. No lifeboats. Over 1,000 souls lost. Fast forward to 1912. The world is rocked as the Titanic, the largest ship ever built, hits an iceberg and sinks. Coincidence? Or did Morgan Robertson, a man with no knowledge of the Titanic, predict the most famous maritime disaster in history, 14 years before it happened? Let's dive into this chilling mystery. In 1898, Morgan Robertson wrote a novella titled The Wreck of the Titan. The plot was simple but terrifying. It followed the journey of the Titan, a colossal ocean liner billed as unsinkable, just like the Titanic. In Robertson's tale, the ship strikes an iceberg on a calm night in clear weather, in the exact same North Atlantic waters where the Titanic would later meet its own fate. The book states, "The Titan was a marvel of naval architecture, large, magnificent, and unsinkable." Sound familiar? The Titan was 800 feet long. The Titanic? Just 82 feet longer at 882 feet. But these small differences barely matter when you realize what's about to unfold. The book states, at 11 p.m., the Titan struck an iceberg while making its way through the calm Atlantic, unbothered by any warnings of danger. Now let that sink in. The exact time, the exact location, and the precise cause of the disaster. This wasn't just a fictional ship running into an iceberg. This was a blueprint for disaster. Let's talk about the strange parallels. Ready? Let's break this down. First, we have the ship's name itself, Titan. It's uncanny how close that is to Titanic. Robertson's Titan is a towering giant, just like the Titanic. Could this have been pure chance? Let's keep going. In The Wreck of the Titan, the ship strikes an iceberg in the dead of night, exactly the same way Titanic did. Both ships crashed in the North Atlantic in the exact same waters. And here's the kicker. Both accidents happen on calm nights with clear skies, as if the ocean itself were too peaceful to suspect what was coming. The book states, at 11 p.m., the Titan struck an iceberg while making its way through the calm Atlantic, unbothered by any warnings of danger. Here's where it gets even more eerie. In Robertson's novel, the Titan lacks enough lifeboats for its passengers. It's a disaster waiting to happen. Guess what? Titanic was the same. It had lifeboats, but not enough for everyone aboard. The book states, there were not enough lifeboats to carry the 2,000 passengers, and within an hour, the great ship sank to its doom. Now ask yourself, how could Robertson, writing 14 years before the Titanic disaster, know this crucial detail? He couldn't have. And yet, both ships, fiction and reality, shared this devastating flaw. Was this just coincidence? The similarities are chilling. But it gets even stranger when you think about the odds. Robertson wrote his book in 1898. The Titanic, that exact ship, wasn't even conceived until the early 1900s. There's no way he could have known about the Titanic. In fact, the ship's plans were kept under wraps until after the novel was published. So how did he predict it with such accuracy? Some chalk it up to luck. Robertson simply imagined what the perfect disaster might look like. A ship so large, so powerful it could defy nature, until it couldn't. It's easy to write a story about a ship hitting an iceberg, right? But what about the details? What about the lack of lifeboats, the unsinkable claims, the calm weather? Those weren't just guesses. Those were precise strokes of fate. But we have to wonder, did Robertson tap into something deeper? Something beyond mere coincidence? What if it wasn't just coincidence? What if Robertson wasn't simply writing a fictional disaster, but somehow channeling a warning from the future? Some would say that's a stretch. But when the real Titanic sank in 1912, it was as if the world had been sent a message from the past, disguised as fiction. Could Robertson have been so in tune with the future that he foresaw this tragedy? It seems implausible, but isn't it even more implausible to think he could guess so much with such chilling precision? Maybe the past and the future are more connected than we think. Over a century later, the legacy of the Titanic lives on. But so does the legacy of the wreck of the Titan. The eerie accuracy of Robertson's tale has baffled historians, intrigued conspiracy theorists, and captivated anyone who's ever looked to the past to unlock the future. Was it pure fiction, or did Robertson foresee something the rest of us couldn't? Was it simply coincidence, or did fate or something else lead him to tell the story that would come to define an entire era of maritime history? In the end, we can't answer the question for sure. But one thing is certain: the line between fiction and reality is thinner than we think. The wreck of the Titan may just be another example of how life sometimes mirrors art in the most unbelievable ways. So was Morgan Robertson just an incredibly lucky author, or did he glimpse the future? Perhaps we'll never know. But next time you look back on the tragic tale of the Titanic, you might wonder, was this story already written? Don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more mind-bending tales from history, where the line between the past and future is blurred. Until next time, keep wondering, because history has a way of surprising us.